everyone, and welcome to Techyries. Man, it has been another busy week for the tech and video game industry. But hey, I'm Morgan, and this is my lovely co-host KP.
That's right. Hey everybody, how you doing? Um, Morgan, I just want to address an elephant in the room if you don't mind.
Sure, go for it.
All right. So guys, I do want to talk about something that came up on our YouTube channel.
Oh, it's
Somebody
this.
left a lovely comment saying that we are an AI channel. I hate to tell you, we're not. I'm not a
Sorry to
robot. She's
disappoint.
not a robot. We just want to let you guys know that we do work very hard to write our stuff, record our stuff, edit our stuff. We have people helping us edit our stuff. They are sometimes in our chat and everything too. This is literally, we are giving you guys the content. We are looking for the information. This is
We
not
do the
us.
research, we
We
write
do
the
the research.
scripts, we do everything
Yeah.
ourselves. So,
So sorry to disappoint you, person out there who commented saying that we are an AI channel, but we're not. We're real people.
and we only mention this, guys. Normally, we're not the type who'd like even fret about that type of stuff, but with like the whole viewpoint on AI, we just want to make sure everybody understands. Like, no, we're not AI. Sorry. Like,
Yeah.
don't know what else you want to know and how else we need to prove it. It's sad to see that people want to look at a very well put together video and just be like, "Oh, it's AI." Maybe that means I'm just too good. I don't know. Like,
Well, actually, you're better than AI because
no, I
AI would
am.
have done things like stuck in like an octopus randomly.
Does
There would have
this
been
mean
like 10 hands.
does this mean maybe I should start voiceovering, like doing a voiceover for a robot somewhere?
I don't know.
Uh, people.
But I wanted to address it because I know we don't like misinformation being spread, so we want to address it now to stop any spreading of misinformation about what Morgan and I do. We do a lot. We have worked in the entertainment, news, media industry for feels like forever. So I think we
It's
know what
been
we're
a long
doing.
time.
Yeah, it feels like forever. So I think we know what we're doing. So with that, I do want to say thank you to everyone who does support us and knows exactly what we do for you guys, and the fact that you know that we are human, and we do make mistakes. It happens, but we do also record our own stuff too, which is pretty fun. So with that said, I'm going to move on now.
Perfect.
So we're also going to be chilling by the docks later in the show as we unveil some fishing games from Steam's latest fest. And I did not want to use Morgan's thing from last week because I would have just been giggling the whole time.
I'm not gonna make jokes about docking. It's fine.
All right, good. All right, so let's kick off everything with your tech balls because we have a lot on our plate today.
All right, everybody. First things first for you. We do have a news story to go ahead and take a look at for a game that we happen to notice disappeared from the Epic Game Store. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video so you can find out why. It looks like Iron Mace, the publisher of Dark and Darker, got themselves into some hot water, and its legal troubles are spilling over to the Epic Games Store. Epic Games erased any trace of the game Dark and Darker from its store. This decision comes after a court decision in Korea between Nexon and the game's publisher Iron Mace. Nexon accused the studio of building Dark and Darker on assets and code stolen from a similar project codenamed P3, which Nexon canceled back in 2021. Now, Iron Mace is looking at nearly $6 million in damages. This caused Epic to take action. Epic sent an email to the players letting them know it will be removed. The message states, on November 1st, 2025, we will be removing Dark and Darker from your library, at which point it will no longer be playable via the Epic Games Store. And went on to say, players can no longer purchase redstone shards or the legendary status upgrades via the Epic Games Store. Players players can continue to use redstone shards that they have previously purchased until November 1st, 2025. There will be refunds issued to anyone who purchased the legendary status upgrade, but refunds for redstone shards premium currency will not be offered. But for now, Dark and Darker is still available on Steam. You can play the base game for free, or you can upgrade to the legendary status. On their Steam page, however, it shows the game has mostly negative reviews. At this time, it is not clear if Steam will pull the game from its library or not. But Iron Mace has provided a solution to those who are still playing the game. On their website, they offered players to transfer over their progress to their blacksmith platform through their migration system. You'll be prompted with the migration dialog upon logging in with your EGS account and need to transfer their progress to blacksmith. Once you transfer over your progress to blacksmith, there will be no deadline for the use of previously purchased redstone shards or other previous purchases, but you have until November 1st to transfer over your progress. We want to know, did Epic make the right move to pull it from their Epic Games Store? And should Steam follow suit and also pull the game as well? Let us know in the comments below. All right, everybody, that was what happened with Dark and Darker. Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Ramp, welcome in.
Hello.
It's just fascinating. Like we talk, you know how we talked about other ones like down the line, like Pal World, Schedule One, all this stuff, and people being like, "Oh my God, copyright issues, all this stuff, right? Infringements." It's we have something for real now this time.
Yeah, this time is actually legitimate. Like there's ground for this lawsuit that is happening.
Yeah. I don't I wonder how Steam is going to react to this. I don't know if Epic went too far, but I kind of feel like it was a smart move on their part because of everything that's underway with this, right? So, I'm not mad or upset or even like against what Epic did because they have to protect themselves too.
Absolutely.
And right.
100%.
And so I'm curious if Steam is going to do the same thing down the line. If if Dark and Darker, if Iron Mace wants to, have their player that they have on their website because you can go to their website and find it. That's fine. That's all you guys. You guys are running it on your own accord. But I do feel bad for the other launchers like Epic and Steam who all of a sudden are like, "Oh crap, this just dropped in my lap. Now what do I do?" So I think it was smart on their part because they don't want to get stuck in any of that lawsuit
Yeah.
because you never know. It could all like come together where they're like, "Oh, well, we're also finding the people who are holding it on their platforms." So
Yeah.
you just never know what happens. And so sometimes it's better safe than sorry, and sometimes you just need to pull it.
I could see it, like depending on what ends up happening, if depending on how like if this whole situation with the developers and Nexon progresses, I could see Steam eventually removing it, or like they could end up removing it from the store, but people who already have access to it through Steam might still have their access in the library, but then it's no longer available for any further purchasing. They might go that route down the road. But we'll see because I've seen them do that before.
Yeah, well, it's free. So the base game is free. So I don't
Right, right. But I'm just saying they might
so
remove it from being able to like add it to your
right,
library,
okay.
but anybody who had already previously added it, you still like have access. I could see them potentially going that route, but I think we'll just wait and see because I think Steam is somebody who I don't want to say they're not proactive, but they're kind of like let's hold on until like it's really deemed that we don't need to, or that we
Yeah,
like need to take action.
that's true. That's true. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Do you think Epic went too far when they pulled it, or do you think it was a smart move on their part? And do you think Steam should do the next thing? They should also pull it, or do you think they should at least prohibit other people from, putting it into their library and playing it? But if you still have it already before that, you can still play it. So let us know in the comments. And yeah, well, Morgan,
Yeah.
it has been quite the week for Borderlands. I can't believe how much stuff has happened this week alone for Borderlands. Like I'm sitting there like, Morgan, this is going on. I'll see you later.
Oh, goodbye.
Okay, bye. So let's kick it off, guys. I've got two big stories going on with Borderlands that I hopefully, all of my Vault Hunter friends out there will appreciate. So just yesterday, the Borderlands Fan Fest was underway, and we finally got to learn more about the storyline behind the new game. The Borderlands Fan Fest was full of hands on experiences and a deeper dive into what the story is for us Vault Hunters. It kicked off with the CEO of Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, taking the stage. He talked about the story behind Borderlands 4 and how Kairos was considered a myth and invisible to the world. The Timekeeper placed a veil over it for centuries, locking everyone who lived there away from other civilizations. It was also a way for him to keep control of those who lived on the planet. When someone is born, they are fitted with a vault, which allows the Timekeeper to see what you see. The Timekeeper can also control you, just like a puppet if he wanted to. But when Lilith slammed Elipis into Kairos, it started a chain reaction of those trapped under the Timekeeper's spell to break free. This lady, who we still don't know her name yet, found a psycho mask from when the debris rained down from the moon slamming into Kairos. She picked it up and saw the vault symbol and took it as a sign. She then reached behind her head and ripped the bolt out, breaking free from the control of the Timekeeper. From there, she formed the Rippers, those who fight against the Timekeeper. It kicked off a civil war between the Rippers and the Order, the Timekeeper's army. But where do the Vault Hunters come in? The Vault Hunters know that the stories about the riches and vaults isn't a myth. Our new Vault Hunters head to Kairos to search for these legendary vaults. But while there, these Vault Hunters will have to make some decisions, such as which side to take in the Civil War. As Randy said during the Fan Fest,
keep your eye on the prize. Not only can you survive Kairos, but you can become a legend. This is Borderlands 4.
Borderlands 4, which releases September 12th, has pre-orders available now. There is the Standard Edition for $69.99, the Deluxe Edition for $99.99, and the Super Deluxe Edition for $129.99. You can check out all of our coverage of Borderlands 4 on our YouTube channel. And we want to know, what do you think of this game's story? Share your thoughts with us.
All right, everybody. Man, I timed that awfully this time. I'm usually way better than that, but yeah. So
It's definitely different. It is, yes.
it is different, even from my little knowledge of Borderlands that I do have. Okay, but how did you feel? You know, with like look with the whole thing at FanFest, aside from like
So,
how
okay,
weirdly nonchalant
Randy
Randy
was.
was.
Yeah, Randy was very nonchalant. Like this Randy, okay, let me just talk about Randy really quick. Randy gets on stage and like normally Randy's like off the wall, jumping everywhere, having a good
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
being like it's, crazy and all this stuff. He was very much like he walks on stage, he stands there and he's like, Elipis slams into Kairos. Imagine Kairos is a planet that nobody knows about except for the people who are. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, it was just very odd. But I understand why he was doing, like, he was trying to build that suspense. He was trying to build the whole, like, getting us to be curious of, like, what's going on. I think this storyline is a very unique storyline to the Borderlands franchise. And the reason I say that is because in 1 and 2 and 3, you had, or I should say 1 and 2 and pre-sequel, you had a common enemy. That common enemy was Jack. It was Handsome Jack. Everybody knew about him. But I think what makes this one interesting is 3, they kind of just, I don't even know what they were trying to do. 3 felt like it was just, we want to like pull in the millennial piece and we want to feel like we have millennials because of all like the social media happenstance that was happening at the time. And it was like, okay, cool. I kind of get it, but I don't. But this one is bringing us to a brand new situation where we're the Vault Hunters and we know that this planet Kairos existed and it does have the vaults there and it does have those, the loot that we want and everything else. And so we know that, but we're coming in at a war because of the whole issue that happened where the people that were living there didn't realize that there were things outside of their planet because of the Timekeeper. Timekeeper put this massive veil over him, and it was like everything just disappeared. And on top of that, he was controlling them. So that's why they have these bolts in the back of their head. And so I thought that was an interesting twist to the fact of like, first you have Oedipus slam into Kairos. Then you have this lady who we don't even know what her name is, but she is somebody that has lived there all her life.
Sure.
And she finds this mask and she sees the Volt symbol and she goes, "Oh my God, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of breaking free," and pulls the bolt out, which is fascinating that every hashtag that we've had has been like now break free. And I get it now because they are trying to break free from the grasp of the timekeeper. And so I think this is going to be a very fascinating one where we as Vault Hunters need to make decisions based on what is happening in the world with this civil war going on. It's going to be like, who is going to be, the side that we want to be on? I don't know. I don't know which side I want to be on yet. I know, like, when Diablo dropped its whole thing, everybody was like, I want to be on Lilith's side. I don't know if it's going to be like that kind of situation where it's going to be like, well, I want to be part of the, this person's side because this other person sucks, but I don't know how it could be torn. I think this is a great kickoff for this franchise. And I love the fact that even during FanFest, they sat there and they said, like, we want to make more. Like, we don't want to stop, And I think
Sure.
that's very cool that they don't want this franchise to just end because it could. They could be like, this is it. This is the end of it. This is what we've been trying to get to this whole time. And no more. Like I think they want, just like Destiny, they want that story to continue and never feel like it's ending.
Sure.
And I think
Sure.
that's a good thing. So I'm excited for this game because I'm excited to see what we're getting. But I also want to show you guys the pre-order stuff because I have some more things I want to say about that too. So as we got, we got one step closer to getting our hands on the new game. And, during this week, pre-orders opened and I'm going to give you guys a closer look at what these packages contain and their prices. So here it is.
Why is it not going?
Or not.
What the hell? Hold on. I think I just need to re-put it in because it's being a butthead.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? I don't see it in our
Uh,
video stuff. Did it get moved?
I highlighted.
No. On our in our drive, in our folders.
Did I not put it in there? I swear I did.
I don't see it. Help! Help, kitty! Help!
I need somebody.
Y'all,
Oh,
we're
no,
tired. We're tired, I think.
Oh, I think I need a hero. I need a hero. I think I remember I did this like on my laptop, and I think I just imported it into the drive.
Is it on like our Google Drive, you mean?
Yeah, it's on our Google Drive.
That's
All right, stand by.
Please hold. We do want to tell you all about these pre-orders. Let me fix this.
We do.
Please hold.
We'll just play it from YouTube.
Y'all, we've had a week if you can't tell.
It started with the pre-orders and it didn't stop.
That's not it.
Do you want to just play it off of the YouTube? It would be fine.
Yeah, here. You know what? Let me just pull up our YouTube. That'll be faster because I can't find it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, poor Ram.
Okay.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to now mute our YouTube chat. There we go. Because then I could hear us again. I was like, no! Everything's messing up. Oh my goodness. See, guys, we're not AI. Because we make mistakes.
Would AI make this mistake? Never.
All right, where is it? Here it is. Okay. It's loading. Please hold. There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, desktop audio is where y'all can hear stuff now. Let me go ahead and switch over. Let's make it full screen. Woo!
Just days before the FanFest, 2K revealed pre-orders are available for Borderlands 4. Pre-orders include 3 different options: the Standard Edition, Deluxe Edition, and Super Deluxe Edition. Let's break these down so you can decide which is the best option for you. In the Standard Edition, you'll get the base game and the pre-order bonus, the Gilded Glory Pack, which includes 1 Vault Hunter skin, 1 weapon skin, and 1 Echo 4 drone skin. In the Deluxe Edition, you'll get everything in the Standard Edition, including the Bounty Hunter bundle, which includes 4 unique areas, missions, and bosses, 4 vault cards with unique challenges and rewards, new weapons, new Vault Hunter cosmetics, and 4 new vehicles with new cosmetics. And along with that, you'll get the Firehawk's Fury, which is a weapon skin. Lastly is the Super Deluxe Edition. You'll get everything from the Standard and Deluxe Edition, along with the Vault Hunter Pack, which includes 2 new playable Vault Hunters, 2 new weapon regions, new story mission and side missions, new gear and weapons, new Vault Hunter cosmetic, and a new Echo skin cosmetic. You'll also get the Ornate Order Pack, which includes 4 Vault Hunter skins, 4 Vault Hunter heads, and 4 Vault Hunter bodies. So what will each cost you? This is from the Steam page. The Standard Edition will be $69.99, the Deluxe Edition will be $99.99, and the Super Deluxe Edition will be $129.99. So we want to know, what do you think of the prices for the pre-orders? And if you pre-order Borderlands 4, which bundle did you get? Let us know in the comments.
This thing is yelling in my ear. Okay, there we go. Whew. Sorry about that, like, weird, like, hiccup and everything there, guys. But hey, that's the pre-orders. Have y'all pre-ordered it? Ramp, I'm looking at you. Have you pre-ordered it yet?
Yeah, Ramp, have you? Yeah, man,
Oh,
have you?
they're waiting. They're waiting. Okay, okay.
All right, that's
So
fair, that's fair.
I find this really funny though, like this whole video, this whole thing, because we had Randy coming out saying it's going to be $80 and the real fans will make it happen. And because you and I had the discussion, I think over the week, just kind of like,
Mhm.
I feel like Gearbox is like, whoa, 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 bud. Whoa. We didn't say that. Hold on. And so like they're kind of like chose like that 70 as the base Standard Edition is like their like middle ground. It's not 60. Randy, it ain't 80. We're gonna go 70.
So I do want to point something out, because there has been a lot of chatter regarding these different editions, right?
Sure.
So
Sure.
yes, I get it. You know, the base is $70. That's great. And he even came out at FanFest and said, "See, guys, we did it. It's 70." And I was like, "Okay, Randy, calm down, though." Because yes, the base game is going to be amazing. I think
Sure.
it's going to be a lot of fun. But here's where you win. And I hate to say it, because I ended up buying the $130 one. And here's why: because you're going to get 2 playable Vault Hunters, 2 new story packs, which has all new story and side missions, and 2 new map regions. If you think about it, that's probably going to cost you another $50 or $60, depending on if they split it. Because they could be like, "Oh, well, we're going to give you guys 2 new story packs. Let's split those." So that could be, another 40 and another 40. So you're still going over even at 70. So now you're way over, right? So I think you win if you buy the Super Deluxe. Does it suck to your wallet? Yes, it sucks to your wallet, but I'm looking at the long term, down the road. I don't want to pay for something if I don't have to later. And I think that's cool. I also find it very fascinating that it has been since 2 that we have gotten new Vault Hunters. They have not given us new Vault Hunters at all since then. And we are getting new Vault Hunters. And I love the fact that they got up on there and they're like, "Oh my God, so we're doing something we haven't done in a while." I'm like, "You haven't done it since 2." Like I'm yelling at Randy as he's on stage. So, the other thing I want to point out is a lot of people have been looking at the Vault Hunter pack and going, "Oh, great! So we're gonna get this," but they lied to us. But they didn't lie to us. They said this is content that's coming after launch, and that's something that you have to read. Read the fine print, people. It says post launch. That means after the game is done, and once they launch it, because they are still working on it, they're going to work on finishing up and getting the DLC and the 2 new Vault Hunters and everything else that they promised us out at, for later. And that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. The third thing I want to
Fair.
point out, which I did not point out in this package, is there is a collector's edition, and the collector's edition will give you Eco 4. It'll give you like posters, and then it'll give you some content for the game. It does not give you the game. So I want people to really read that through. Okay. If you guys see it and you're like, this is great, I really want this, it's the collector's edition. That's fine. You still have to go buy the game. They did not do a very good job with that. And I will say it straight. I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I love the franchise. I am like, if you can't tell, I love the freaking franchise. But I do not agree with what they did on this collector's edition. You're not even going to give me the game, but you give me everything else. That's not okay. So definitely make sure you read everything before you just go, I'm buying this, because I don't
Mhm.
want people to get stuck in something where they're like, well, they told me this, and then 2K is getting, creamed because they literally put on there, no, buy the game separately. Game sold separately.
Sure.
So if you can't read, that's not my problem. But I have told you, this is your PSA for the day. Uh, so I think the better value is probably the super deluxe value, even though it is a lot of money off the rip. But then again, Morgan, I look at it Destiny 2 and how Destiny 2 is doing it. It's $100 or it's
Oh,
like $80.
it's 100% worth getting the full getting so like how Destiny 2 is doing it because we have two major expansions coming out. We have one coming out, I believe it's July 15th, and one coming out much later in the year. And it is worth getting the bundle that has both now. You get your
Right.
season pass with it without having to pay for it. But if you break it down with everything, like with everything you're getting, so you have all of the pre-order stuff that you could technically buy separately. That's like $20 there alone of content for like the cosmetics and everything.
Mm,
Then you have one, and then if you break the rest of it down, each expansion is being split almost like it's $40 for that for this expansion, $40 for the next one, and then that $20 for all the cosmetics makes up your 100. Where if you buy them individually, they're more expensive.
mhm.
So you're
Right.
definitely worth doing that bundle. It's a little bit more money now, but it actually saves you. Does it save you a lot of money? No, it saves you probably somewhere between 20 and $40. But hey, you can go put that towards a different game.
Right. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, if you buy the stupidly expensive one down the line when they release it, I'm not spending that money. I already did. And I said, here, you can go make that so I
Yeah,
can have it next time. So
absolutely.
that's why I think the better deal is actually the super deluxe. And I will say this, not to plug my own Discord channel, but sorry, Morgan.
I
But
have one
on
too.
my I know you do. I
No,
know you do.
Jesus.
But on my Discord channel, there is actually a discussion going on where it actually where people in my channel have talked about the price from when they did Borderlands 3 and all the different editions that you can get, and the price for all the ones and this one and the edition. So if you guys want a little bit more on that, it is in my personal Discord. It's not in our Techyries, unfortunately, but it at least is nice that they were having that discussion and talking through the money and understanding like what does each thing cost, if you were to break it down. So if that helps you guys with figuring out which one you want to do, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the base game. Just realize that if you do love the franchise and you want to eventually get the stuff down the line, you're going to be shelling out. You're going to be shelling out money. I had a weird stutter there. Uh, yeah,
Wouldn't
you'll be
hurt.
shelling out the money for it. So definitely think about that. I am excited though to see who are these new Vault Hunters going to be. and what are they going to be doing? Like, what are their skills?
For sure.
They also emphasized during FanFest once again that if Morgan and I play Vex and we both have trouble, we can still play Vex completely different. Like, our gameplay can be totally separate from each other, even if we're the same character. So I think that's really cool. I think they said that this one was going to be one of the largest skill trees that they have ever done. Yes, there's still 3 to choose from, but it's the largest one with more options for each of us to do so that everybody can feel like they can play their character the way they want to play their character. So I think that's really smart on their end, and they also just went through all the basics again with the game, basically like here's the people. They did say this though with the people, the characters. We're going to be learning more about, apparently I always call him Amon. Apparently his name is Amon. Um I like Amon better. It sounds better.
I do
But we're
too.
going to learn more about the Forge Knight and what he can do. We're going to learn more about Harlow, the Gravitar, and what she
Awesome.
can do as we get closer. So I think that's going to be great. As soon as we find out more information on that, I will bring it to you guys. And I think we're just gonna be rocking and rolling. September 12th is gonna get here before we know it, and I'm gonna be in Borderlands. So hopefully you guys will join me.
She's gonna be gone forever.
I'm gonna get messages from Morgan like, "Are you still alive?"
Make sure to drink water. Hey, step away and get food.
Can you just make it for me? Thanks.
Fly me down there just for the week that it releases so I can just take care of you.
You know,
I,
that's not a bad idea.
I did make some really delicious breakfast tacos this morning if you're interested.
Ooh. Morgan just cleans my whole house and I'm
Hey,
still here.
pushing it.
Am I? Am I though? I'll take you to the water park. You can go there.
Yay! All right, everybody. With all of those stories we've already had for you, we actually have a couple more. So,
Only a couple.
just a few. It's like what, 3 or 4? It's fine.
There's like 4.
We have 4 more stories for you because we ended. It was like a quiet, like beginning of the week. So
It was.
we were working on stuff. We were getting some things done that we were like wanting to get done that we've had planned to get done, and all of a sudden it's like bam, bam, bam. I didn't even realize Dawn Walker had its gameplay reveal yesterday. So that's a video I'm immediately working on tomorrow. So coming soon, y'all, because all of a sudden all the news just came halfway through the week and later. We're like, ah. Anyway.
Oh, I knew FanFest was going to be a thing. I just didn't
That's
know
fair. That's fair.
how much of FanFest we were going to get and what they were going to do. And so when they revealed storyline, I was like, all right, I'll be there.
Awesome. So, with the next story we have for y'all, right, is Microsoft has actually announced that Xbox and AMD have officially entered a multi-year strategic partnership to power their next generation of consoles. So, this includes the Xbox Series successor that is launching in 2027. Reportedly, it hasn't been officially confirmed yet. But this partnership does aim to deliver more and better gaming experiences across a number of different devices, as well as PC and even handheld platforms. I'm thinking of platforming gaming, my bad. But now that means we're seeing AMD processors featured in both the ROG Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X. The original Ally uses an AMD Ryzen Z2A, where the Ally 2 uses a more powerful AMD, which is the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme. Now, this is all according to the Republic of Gamers. So these AMD processors are custom designed for the handhelds and support features like AMD Fluid Motion, framers for enhanced visuals. Xbox own handheld consoles were announced during the June 8th Xbox Game Showcase, which you can watch our watch party over on YouTube for. But these devices are planned to launch by the end of 2025. Now, according to Xbox President Sarah Bond and Microsoft, the partnership will up level the player experience by bringing advanced graphics with improved visual quality, immersive gameplay, using the power of AI, and ensuring compatibility with the existing Xbox games library, such as the Xbox Series X and S games and backwards compatible titles. Xbox also stated, because it's a little bit more, that they want gamers to benefit from their partnership with AMD in hopes that it enables, and I quote, play across devices in entirely new ways. So without being locked to a single store or device, basically meaning you're gonna have access to everything. You're gonna have access to BattleNet. You're gonna have access to Steam, to Xbox, to the Microsoft Store, to Epic Game Store, and so on. So, what we want to know, guys, is what are your thoughts on the partnership with AMD? Are you excited for the Xbox handheld console launch later this year? Let us know and chat in the comments. How do you feel about it, KP?
I think it's a great move. I personally do. I think it's a super great move. So AMD is actually down the street from here where I live, and
Very nice.
it's they're a big deal, and I think this is very strategic on Xbox's part, especially in console wars, as we like to call it, because you know PlayStation and Xbox have always been button heads a lot,
Yes.
and so this is actually Xbox's way to say, you know what, we're going to take it one step farther, and I also think it's really smart on their move to make it beyond what Switch is, which is Switch is just, focused on Nintendo. And even Steam, I think Steam is just focused on just the Steam library. I know we still need to dig into that some more to find out, but I
I bel
believe it
I
is
believe that's right. But there
simply
might be ways around it. I have to double check with
without
I
jailbreaking it.
yeah. So I have my buddy Michael who has one. So I want to like sit down and chat with Michael and be like, "Hey Michael, so what is everything you're able to do
Yeah,
with your Steam Deck?"
right. And so I think being able to expand where you can get your games and have it be like more of a universal type console,
Mhm.
handheld console, is very smart, and I'm excited for it. I actually, once they start releasing prices, I really want to know what it is because I would love to get my hands on one and make that like my new thing of just like I can take it anywhere because when I fly, I used to take my Switch with me and I would play it on the plane, but I don't really like my Switch is older, so it doesn't hold charge as much, so it doesn't
Gotcha.
stay. But then like even if I'm downstairs or let's say I'm visiting people, like I love having the option to have that device with me so that I can play something. So if I'm just like chilling and I just don't want to like do anything, like if I'm home with my parents, but I don't want to get up, pull out the laptop, like it's just a
Yeah.
great way to have
That's
something
something
so you
like
don't have to do
sometimes
that.
Dan and I sit there and watch YouTube, but
Mhm.
like sometimes I'm doing stuff on my laptop, but sometimes I don't like I want to play a game, but I don't necessarily want the whole laptop or like my TV tray set up or anything else like that. Like I'd
Right.
much rather just have something that's small to be in my hands, and I definitely would love to get myself a handheld console. And I've
Yeah.
been wanting specifically the Steam Deck, but now it's going to be a matter of comparing everything. Is it going to be the Steam Deck or is it going to be this Xbox Ally?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to lean towards the Xbox Ally just because it is open to more options and I have
Mhm.
games everywhere. Like even like being able to even play some of my Xbox games, like that would be really nice because I
Yeah,
do have a lot of Xbox games that are in my library that I don't because I don't want to pull out the console. Like the consoles are literally in my storage unit right now and I'm like I don't want to pull them out and set them up and do all that stuff cuz sometimes it's a pain in the butt. So I think that'll be interesting. I think the other thing that'll be fascinating is seeing how it works when you hook it up to a like a capture card, right?
sure.
And being able to use it that way and seeing how that works. And then seeing if you can either Bluetooth or even hardwire in a controller. Like I know they have the controllers on the sides, but like what if you just want to like put it somewhere because I know you can hook it up to a TV and play it that way. So like I wonder if it's got either Bluetooth or if the dock has like a way to connect one. I'm sure it's got Bluetooth with it. I just need to look into it more. But I think that would be fascinating too, and
Yeah,
it
I'm
might
sure
be
it could
even
be even an
easier.
easy it could be an easy connect, like, if you already have, like, your Xbox, like, Series X or S, I could see that that's probably really easy pairing to that as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
But I
could
was
see
gonna
something
say
like that working.
it will probably be even easier too for people who want to do game capturing without having to like what the big thing for me was I hated doing game capturing with the Xbox because it would be like I had to turn on the laptop in order to then turn on the console and stuff like that. And this might be a little bit easier because you you don't have to worry about it being like, oh, I need to turn it on through the
Totally
laptop.
fair.
You might still have to do that, but if you're like, oh, I want to go play this later, you could just pull it out and take it with you. Like, I feel like that's a little bit faster than how they have this worked. So I think there's a lot of good things to it. And I'm super excited and I can't wait to see what the prices are for it. And I'm hoping I save enough money for it. And who knows? Maybe an unboxing video will come down shortly.
That'd be pretty
But
sick.
but we will tell you this. We will be doing a comparison video for you guys on all three from, and if PlayStation decides they want to throw one out there too for some reason, we can do that one too.
Yeah.
Um, but we will give you guys a comparison video so that you guys can make your decision on what one you think is the best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be comparing the Steam Deck to the Xbox Allies as well as the Switch 2.
Yes.
But for now, we do have a bit of like support news regarding PlayStation.
Yeah, so Beat Saber, if you guys don't know what Beat Saber is, think of lightsabers. So think of Star Wars, which is awesome. But using them to basically ninja fruit your way through these lovely little like cubes that come at you on a platform in VR. So it's kind of a mix. It's kind of really fun. I really love the game, and I definitely think if you have a VR or thinking about a VR and you're getting one down the line, definitely think about this game. But I do have some bad news regarding it. So Beat Saber says that they're no longer providing support on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And it's a beat game that has a large player base, but that player base could now slowly start shrinking a bit. So, from a post from Beat Saber on Twitter, they stated that the developer will no longer release updates for the game on the PlayStation 4 and 5 starting June 2025. So, what does this mean for those who are playing on PlayStation? Well, it won't have any impacts on your access to content that you previously purchased. You can still buy Beat Saber on the PlayStation devices. You can still play or purchase songs or music packs prior to June 18th, but there will not be any new content released after June 18th. And then on January 21st, 2026, multiplayer will no longer be available in Beat Saber, but cross-buy crossplay will remain active. So in the post, it doesn't say the reason behind the decision, but they stated that their passion for VR remains unwavering. So, what do you think of this decision to no longer release updates for these consoles? Do you think it was a smart move?
I think
What
it's
do you think, Morgan?
I think it's a bad move. I mean, maybe they just don't have the player base on PlayStation compared to like other like platforms maybe. But I know Beat Saber, a lot of people who when they think VR, a lot of people think Beat Saber because that was like one of the first really big VR games that got a lot of hype. And it's a lot of
Mhm.
fun. So I'm very surprised to hear that they're discontinuing their support for PS4 and PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Like I said, they didn't say why. I wonder though if there was maybe coding,
There could be like
engine issue.
compatibility errors now,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm not sure.
Right. And I know, so one of the things about Beat Saber is I know there is a complete mod community for Beat Saber. I
Mm,
actually was running it a lot when I was playing it on stream and stuff. And so they have people go and they make games and they build all these things and then they put them into the system and then you can download them and put them in. And I wonder if people were trying to do that with PlayStation 4 and 5 because it is available on PC,
sure.
but it makes it very difficult, and I don't know where if that played a role. I don't think so personally, but it could have been something. I don't know. They didn't
Mm,
really say much. it is really sad because it is a good game and it's definitely a fun like party game, especially if you have people over. I know like my friends and I, when I lived in Atlanta, we would constantly go to the VR bar and we would play Beat Saber. And then people would come over to my place and we would play Beat Saber because I had VR. So like it definitely gets people to like have a good time and experience something fun and different. So who knows? Maybe maybe it'll come back when PlayStation does a different one. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm surprised to hear this, but maybe there'll be adjustments made, and maybe they're gonna retire this and maybe bring a Beat Saber 2 out. Who knows?
They may. Maybe that could be. I mean, they did say that they're not stopping their VR stuff and this has man, when did they release Beat Saber? Let's find out really fast. Cuz it's been around for a while. Let's see. Beat Saber released in 2019 and they have not made any new stuff since then. And we go to Beat Games. Let's see, do they have anything on here? That's just their trailer. Yeah, they have not mentioned, they have all of their music. They have added a lot of music. They've made original music. I remember when they made the original music and started adding new stuff to it. But there is
So
nothing on here regarding moving on to another.
yeah, and it could be yet to be announced, but I did just do a
Yeah.
search, like, because I was curious, like, thinking about it with PlayStation,
Mm.
that is a Japanese company like Nintendo, and Nintendo is, cracking down on what you're allowed to do. Like, you're not allowed to do the emulators or anything on the Switches now. So I just thought to like look it up, and it says generally PlayStation does not allow the broad, unrestricted modding that PC users might experience, while some games
Yeah.
like Bethesda titles, like for example Skyrim and Fallout and Farming Simulator, have limited mod support on PlayStation. It is often highly restricted compared to PC because Sony typically imposes strict limitations on what kind of modifications are allowed, often focusing on those that don't involve external assets or actual script changes. So it could be
Mm.
also within kind of something similar to that because there is so much modding that happens in this game. It could be kind of like the Nintendo route. Like there's so much modding and people are trying to find, or maybe people have found their ways around it. They're just like, well, we're removing your support.
Yeah.
But
And that can
again,
make sense.
this is all speculation, everybody. Like
Right.
this is just us
Right.
making assumptions or making potential educated guesses.
Making hypotheses.
Yes.
We're using our science brains. Yeah, and these people are based out of Prague, so um it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm hoping they make a new one because I think they have learned a lot from this one and they've made a lot of different packs that it would be interesting if they made a different one, but I really don't think they will. And I think they're just gonna stick with what they know, unfortunately. But
I mean, I would
it
love for them
is
to release a new one with like just updated music, like see what rights they can
well, that's
maybe
why they
get
released
and
those
stuff like
packs
that.
and everything.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so the packs are always going to be updated music that they have.
I see.
Like they're yeah, but like they have Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. That's one of the songs that you can get
Gotcha.
because they constantly drop music. They started off not dropping like a lot of music and then they started like their very first pack got dropped and I was like sweet and then they added like Daft Punk and then they added Lady
Nice.
Gaga and they added um, I think they did Aerosmith, Metallica, Linkin Park was like yeah, on there. Panic at the Disco was a big one that they dropped when they dropped that one. So they've constantly added ones down the line. It's just you have to pay for them a
Hmm.
lot of times, and so that's
Gotcha.
where they make their money. And I get it. It's like okay, that makes sense. Especially if you bought the game and the game's like $30. So it's not like it's a super expensive game, but it's also not like super cheap either.
Right. Right. Hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well,
But you know what? You know who I didn't think would be would be getting into the video game industry? I have to say this because I really didn't think it. I never thought that Dave Bautista would win.
yeah. Yeah. So, chat, did you know that Dave Batista has his own production company called Dogbone Entertainment?
I
Well,
did not. I'm gonna answer that right now. I did not.
I didn't know he had his own production company either. Now, it's not uncommon for actors to like kind of dive into that. It's very common. We know, for example, like a massive one, like Tom Cruise has a very well-known massive one. A bunch that now that I want to say them, now I'm blanking on all the other ones that I actually know
Well,
of.
Adam Sandler has his.
Yeah, Adam Sandler has his. There's so many more. I mean, so many more actors actually have created their own production companies.
Hmm.
But
Which I mean, that's fair. I mean, look at us. We're so popular and famous. We created our own TV show.
heck yeah. Well, we bring this up because Batista and his production company are actually set on developing Steve Lerner's new story titled Cat Assassin for a whole new franchise. So, this franchise would include an animated series as well as video games. So, the like with the steps the which steps the company officially his production company officially into the game publishing space. They've only done like film and animation and stuff before. So Steve Lerner is actually the writer behind the popular Annapurna interactive game that's titled Stray. We both have played it. Steve now is working. Huh?
I got sick.
Oh yes, she did. But Steve is now working on Cat Assassin, and it is seemingly partnered with Dave Bautista, who will have creative input on the franchise, which is being developed alongside Titan One Studios. So Titan One Studios is working alongside Dave Bautista and his production company. So here is a statement actually from Batista. It has been a pleasure collaborating with Titan One Studios on Cat Assassin. Their ability to build worlds through animation has been so impressive, and they've created a truly unique world in this game that I can't wait to share with players. Now, what is a cat? I'm sorry, what is Cat Assassin? Well, let me
I
know
was
what you
gonna say,
know.
what is a cat?
What is a cat? No. So Cat Assassin is actually set in a gritty neo-noir world inhabited by anthropomorphized cats of all types. The story focuses on Hugh, a highly skilled assassin caught between various cartels and power brokers in a dark and twisted city. The franchise promises a unique blend of action, stealth, and humor. Titan One Studios is actively working on a stealth action game for the Cat Assassin franchise. They have said it is inspired by the immersive gameplay of Assassin's Creed, the tactical espionage of Splinter Cell, the immersive feline agility of Stray, and the fluid combat of Sifu. Now, as these cops come flying by my house, and you might be able to hear them,
A
it's
little bit,
also
yeah.
it's also meant to set the tone for the expansive universe that will soon follow. So, what do y'all think? Does this new franchise, Cat Assassin, that Dave Bautista and his company is working on, sound like something you're interested in? Let us know in the comments. We want to know. We want to hear it. I agree.
Brian
It
says
sounds
it
very
sounds interesting.
interesting. And I love to hear that this is also going to be going into an animated series.
Mhm.
I wish I constantly say like, man, these video games, like Destiny is one I would love to see a series made of, even if it's done in a way where it's using the like the art style and everything that we get for their cinematics. I would
Yeah.
love to see Destiny because it has so much rich lore that we've never seen on
Mhm.
the screen before that it'd be really cool to get even like old Destiny lore made into a
Right.
series. And I love that this think wow, must be a good enough story behind this like game in this world that they have created for Cat Assassin where they can make a whole series out of it. So I'm very intrigued to see not only what is going to be developed with the game, but also this animated franchise or animated series they're making.
Well, this is a story that's been like all over the news, which has been really interesting. But there is little to no info on it.
Yeah.
Literally, if you
Very
search
they're keeping it
assassin,
under wraps pretty darn
yeah,
well.
there's no website for it. You can't even like see any. There's only one image that you get, and it's Hugh because they show what
Yeah,
Hugh looks like. So I'm just like, I don't know what to think. I personally like it's interesting. It sounds interesting, but I don't know if it's a game that I'm going to be really intrigued about. If it's a game that I'm like, it could be just fun to watch somebody play it,
sure.
or if the storyline is just going to be like, I don't know if I want to watch the animated series. You know, like there's
For
too
sure.
many questions I have right now about this game, and I know they want to keep it kind of like hush hush, and I get that, but at the same time I'm like, you got to give us something. You know, you want to hit us gamers, you want to hit us like, animated fans, you have to give us more than just, oh, by the way, it's a mix of Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell and Stray and Sifu. Like, oh, okay, well, those are like four different genres, you know? Like Assassin's Creed, sneaky time. Sifu is very combat, like hands-on. Then you're
Mhm.
talking Splinter Cell and shooting things, and then you're talking Stray, and I'm gonna go on a journey through a town or gutter or like there's so many questions I have that are going on because everything is so different from what we just tried to slam together into one game. So I
Sure.
think, yeah,
Sure.
I think once we know more, I think it'll be very helpful.
I don't disagree. Don't disagree. But man, that's not the only like news going on though, because you had some big stuff with Apple, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
know, and I know you guys are gonna be like, I hate Apple. I hate Apple. Look, all right, so I'm gonna tell you guys about. All right, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys we do have some Apple news, and I know, you guys are all Android fans. I get it, I get it. But on June 9th, I'm not. I'm an Apple person, okay? On June 9th,
My
Apple
beautiful
held.
Android.
I get it, okay? I get it. Um, Look, I think this is very good on what they're doing. Okay. I'm really excited about some of the things that they talked about during the Worldwide Developers Conference that happened on June 9th. And I think it's going to help Apple kind of compete more with Android because, like, just like Xbox and PlayStation are button heads, we have these two button heads.
Of course we do.
So, let's talk about what are the big features that they're bringing to their products. And it is actually called live translation. So, live translation automatically translates messages as you type them and deliver it to someone in their preferred language, which is so smart because a lot of states nowadays don't have everybody speaking English. There is a mixture of all types of people that live here and across all different states in America. And even if you go overseas, like it could be very useful in that sense. And it doesn't stop there. You know, if you were to FaceTime call someone, let's say Morgan, you want to talk to Grimm's mom because she has to ask you something, but she can't speak English very well. Well, you do use a FaceTime with her, right?
Mhm.
And you'll actually be able to talk to her and it will translate live captions for her so that while while they're still hearing you in your voice so that she can keep up and still understand and vice versa. If she's talking back to you, you can understand what she's saying so that you can react properly as opposed to I don't know what you're saying because I don't speak that language.
Very
And same
fair.
goes with phone calls. You might be on a phone call and the translation is actually spoken aloud through the conversation, which is so great. So I will say this though, when it first comes into play, it will say whatever in that person's language on a phone call, and then it will translate it
Okay.
so that you still understand, like, I'm not talking to someone who speaks my language, and this is what it sounds like. So I think that's kind of cool. So, onto the iPad. Now, you'll be able to use a new feature that will help you control, organize, and switch between app windows. So, the new window system lets users fluidly resize app windows, place them exactly where they want them, and open even more windows at once. So this is a very interesting design that will make it easier for people to use their iPads like laptops in a way. So you can hook up a keyboard, you can hook up a Bluetooth mouse, and you literally can use it as if it was a laptop. I think this would be really helpful for people who like are older, the older generation who maybe don't need a laptop, but they need to still be able to like write emails or or maybe like open little documents or move things around with a mouse, like
Mm-hmm.
emails, stuff like that, calendars. It just makes it very simple for people who don't need laptops, even little kids. Like kids are on their iPads all the time, and if you can start getting them to do typing and stuff like that, this could be very helpful for them. So the last device I want to talk about is actually the Apple Vision Pro. So all of the new iOS systems are going to be called OS 26. So this will be called Vision OS 26. And it will provide a new spatial experience. So users can decorate their spaces with their favorite widgets, including panoramas and spatial photos of your favorite memories, clocks, and quick access to your go-to playlists and songs on Apple Music. The new OS will have a redesigned control center. You'll be able to unlock your iPhone while wearing your Apple Vision Pro. You'll be able to relay calls from your iPhone, and the home view now supports folders, which is really interesting. So they showed like a whole bunch of different demonstrations with this. What I really love is like if you put pictures on there, it literally creates what looks like a window. And so it looks like it's actually a window like in your wall. So it gives it kind of like that 3D look, which is really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, and even clocks are really cool. Like you could put a clock on a wall and then you can change it to whatever you want it to be like so that it matches your style.
Very nice.
So there are many more features to other devices such as the Apple Watch, the Game Store, and the MacBooks. So for those who are Apple users like myself, what do you guys think of the OS system and what features are you looking forward to? Let us know. I didn't get through them all. There was a lot in the presentation, and I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll give you guys little like short little snippets that we can do later for YouTube to kind of get through some of the
Very
other
nice.
ones that I didn't cover.
Very nice. Very nice.
I know you're not an OS person and an Apple person, but it's at
I'm
least
not. I do like their live translation bit though, because I could see in like certain use cases that definitely being very helpful. So even if you think about like the if you're somebody who like is married, like having an interracial marriage, and like your
hmm
in-laws maybe are very broken English, and like but you don't have that, like you're not a strong speaker in their language. Like it could help with even like bringing families together that are already technically together. So
right.
yeah, I think there's a lot of really sick use cases with that for sure.
Well, I also think too, because a lot of people are going on cruises. Cruises seems to be like the new way to vacation these days, you know?
Hmm.
And people will go overseas to cruise and they'll just drop you off in a city, but you might not speak their language.
Sure.
So
Even just
having the ability
traveling
to
internationally, like when I went to Japan.
right, right. So just having the ability to be able to communicate and ask for like simple things like where's the bathroom? How, like where's the nearest restaurant or whatever they would call it in, area to get, food, or I need clothes. How can I go find clothes? Stuff like that. Just being able to communicate stuff in a very simple form makes it
Hmm.
super easy. And what's so great about it is literally I like the texting to texting in different languages because even if I don't text in, let's say, French, right?
Hmm.
Knowing that if I'm talking to somebody who's from France and they text me in French, it'll translate back to my language so I understand it and vice versa.
I am
So I
curious
think that's
how
very
good the
smart.
translation is because, like, obviously we have like Google Translate, for example. That's usually what I use to like. I'll type up my message in Google Translate to Rob's mom, like when she was in town, when he was in town for my wedding. Her and I communicated a lot, um, and I know that like Google Translation is close, but it's not perfect. It's
Right.
usually enough for them to understand what you're saying. Like But there's always a little bit of an issue here and there, or like there's a little. Technically, that wasn't right, but like like I've because I talked about it with Rob, and Rob would be like, but it's like close enough where we understand what you're saying.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if it's more defined than Google Translate, or if it's going to be very similar to how that works.
So the way that they're doing it is they're actually using like an AI generative to help with it. So AI is going to be a part of it to help kind of like incorporate the right live translation part of it. I
Hmm.
don't know how closely, like, I don't know how Google does it. I don't know if Google just has like, they just have like a whole bunch of words in a dictionary basically, and then they have like if you put this sentence together, it goes like this, and it knows like how to put a sentence together. I don't really know because
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
wonder if
dived into that.
I'd have to talk to Rob about it more, but I wonder if
Yeah.
Google Translate translates it verbatim how we have our sentence structure into that, because like for us, we into a lot of different like foreign languages, we are the way we write our sentences, they're structured very differently in other languages,
Yeah.
where like you kind of like have the lead in and then the other thing at the end, even though technically when we say it in English, the thing we're saying it at the beginning for them,
Mhm.
for us, is actually at the end for them, and but it
Right.
has the same meaning. So I wonder how it's going to do sentence structure, and is it going to
Right.
be more like verbatim, here's just word for word like our translation of what we said, or is there going to be adjustment to sentence structure? That's one I'm very curious about, because I just love and I'm fascinated with the way that like languages work anyway. So
Mhm.
yeah, for me that's the one I'm the most intrigued to learn more about.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think I know they're using AI generative because they talked about it a lot during the whole entire developers conference. And
Yeah,
so I don't know, just not knowing how Google does theirs. I mean, I know Google has Gemini, and they could be slowly starting to incorporate Gemini into their Google Translate later,
that could
or
be.
could be like working on it right now. I don't know. But it is something to think about. But yeah, I think the live translation is one of the biggest things. I know they talked about liquid glass, like, oh my God, and all of this stuff looks so great with this liquid glass. And I'm like, that's not your big stuff. Like, yeah, you changed the design to make it look pretty and stuff, but the big thing is
Sure.
the fact that you're allowing people to use live translation and being able to communicate with the rest of the world. That is something that we don't have a lot of because we speak English here in America. And so it
Most
gets
other
really
countries
difficult.
are very bilingual. We're like
Or
the
more, or
or
more.
yeah, bi or
Yeah.
multilingual for sure. We're the main
Oh,
country
yeah.
where we are not.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, and it makes it difficult being somebody who speaks English to go to another country where maybe they don't speak English and you're
I'll
like,
say,
"Hi."
for my experience, even like going out of the country, most if you're in like cities, like
Yeah.
most people, because English is very commonly their people's second language. So like if you're in the city, like when I went to Tokyo and Kyoto, I had a lot of people who could speak sorry, who were Japanese, who could speak fluent American, and we could talk, and like had no issue communicating with one another. But then when I got more like away from like the main city and like to the outskirts, or like into the bit of the countryside, then that was when I like needed to use a bit more of my apps, or kind of like some translation stuff and whatnot, or
Mhm.
use even the knowledge, like the what I had learned prior to going in terms to like find it and do navigation. So
Right.
I think there is luckily you're gonna have issues where you go if you're traveling internationally for sure. But I think we're on the lucky side where a lot of people know English. It's
Right.
just us being able to understand them, because some people can understand it too, but aren't the best speaking it because people find
Right.
English to be very difficult. Which
Well,
fair,
we are one of
we're,
the hardest languages.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh, Japanese is probably the hardest one I've been trying to learn, then
Mhm.
followed by French. But I just struggle with that French accent. Like the way you have to like have that like little accent, because the emphasis on
Mhm.
words is so important in French, and I'm just like, "Meh, no, it's awful. I don't do French well."
No, I got you. I don't roll R's, so there's a problem with that when I do
See,
Spanish.
I have
So,
no
I get
problem
it.
with rolling my R's, which is nice. Spanish is
I don't know
very
why I can't roll
easy.
them. I just can't roll them.
struggle bus over there with your
I have
R's.
to tell me all the time about it. I'm like, I can't roll my R's, and he's like, yes, you can. And I'm like, no, I can't. And he's Hispanic, so the more you know.
Well, everybody, before we just keep
Um,
talking about language and language
yeah.
barriers or whatever, we are going to go on a quick break. That way we can, use the restroom, freshen up our drinks or whatever. And when we return, we are going to be diving into none other than, probably wasn't going to expect this ever being a fest on Steam, but the Steam Fishing Fest. We did select some games. Some that the ones that I selected, I actually have played one of them very in depth. And yeah,
Mhm.
there's some other ones that I know of or I found that I thought were really cool and I thought I'd share with you, and same with KP. So we'll be back shortly. Hang in there, and when we come back, we're diving right in to the Steam Fishing Fest. All right, everybody. And with that, it is officially the Steam Next Fest, or sorry, the Steam Fishing Fest, not the Next Fest. What, Owen?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I made the graphic for us and just seeing the little fish just
Just Bob.
it was really funny to me. I don't know why.
It's the little things that get hurt. You know,
It is. It's
fish,
the little
grabbing
things that make me
rods.
happy. No, that was you last week.
You were the one dying to it. I just was the one who made the comment. So, anyway, y'all, it is the Steam Fishing Fest right now until tomorrow, Monday, which is
Yes.
what day is it today? Okay. So June 23rd is when it ends. So Monday, June 23rd is when it ends. It does end, I believe, at 10 a.m. Pacific
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. My cat is here wanting to be in my way. So yeah. With that being said, there are sales going on right now, and we did go and select games to show y'all. So I'm gonna start with my first game that I grabbed. Let me switch over so I can show you it. So first things first, y'all. I picked the first game I picked for you is one I actually played a lot with my dad, and that is Fishing Planet. So Fishing Planet is actually a free to play, highly realistic first person online multiplayer fishing simulator. It's actually developed by avid fishing enthusiasts to bring you the full thrill of actual angling on your PC. The devs Fishing Planet LLC released this game back in 2015, but are constantly putting work into it with various DLCs. So there are DLCs such as the Japan Odyssey Pack, the Ocean Voyager, Congo Discovery, and more. And on June 18th, only a few days ago, they actually released a major update to the game that allows you to explore a brand new tropical destination spanning 400 square kilometers of open ocean. And that is actually for Numa Kuda Atholu or Atholuhu. Anyway, it's Maldives. So there are actually 28 species, fish species that are swimming these waters, and 14 of them are actually completely new additions to the game. I just
I know why Owen showed up. It's because we're talking about fish.
oh, you want the tuna and the salmon? He does like crab.
He's like, I heard we're talking fish.
It's really funny because I have one of my last game I have to show is really funny that he's present. But anyway, yeah, this is Fishing Planet. I've played a lot of this game, not gonna lie. I have a really fun time with it. It's a really good game if I just want to be like have something that's chill that I can kind of just relax to. Because like I always find natural environments very relaxing. I have not dived into the DLC, so I really want to. Um, it's kind of like one of those one games where most people don't expect me to like have a to enjoy a fishing simulator, but I actually love fishing. So
Could call you Dan Jr.
what do you mean?
Shirtless Dan loves fishing. He like if there's fishing in a game, he loves it.
I do too.
I know you guys are like you guys are like twins.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next game that I picked for you, which is sorry, trying to move things, do three things at once. That's fine. But yeah, the next game I picked for you is Moon Glow Bay. So this one I
Okay.
actually have not played before. This is a casual role playing game that you'll embark on a journey as a rookie angler, fulfilling your partner's final wish. So team up with friends, family, and neighbors to hone your fishing skills, nourish relationships, and restore a remote town's fractured community in this slice of life fishing RPG. So Moon Glow Bay can be played as single player or actually splits with a split screen shared co-op style. So KP, we can fish together.
Woo!
And it is actually 80% off right now. I know this says on Steam that it's mixed reviews, but to me it looks really cute. I'm very intrigued by what this is, and it's not a super large number of reviews, so I don't know. But I'm very, very curious to see what this is like because it looks really cute. It's very artsy, and it's an RPG. Already interested.
Well, it's interesting too because it's very pixel. It's pixel art.
Yeah, it's which I'm normally not vibing with, but I don't know why. I just was.
But you're vibing today.
I'm vibing today because there's fish. Anyway, um, my last game I selected though, it, oh, it's another oldie, but another goodie. That released back in 2015 that I actually found through KYR Speedy's YouTube playthrough. And that is actually Cat Goes Fishing. That's why Owen's present, is he is a cat who wants to go fishing. So you'll start out on an island with a basic rod, then you'll progress into a radar wielding master fisher cat scouring the sea for the biggest and baddest fish. So each fish has unique behaviors that you will learn to actually exploit as you tailor your arsenal of fishing rods to suit your style of play. So this game is actually a lot of fun. Like especially to watch people play it, but is definitely on my wish list for me to give my own go at it sometime soon. Uh, yeah, this one is one that actually Dan and I both watched. Our one of our streamers really like playing it, and we talk about Cat Goes Fishing quite a bit. And as soon as I heard Fishing Fest was happening, I was like, I need to see if Cat Goes Fishing is on the Steam Fishing Fest because I need to highlight it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But KP, what did you find for us?
All right, so my first one is one that will have similar feels to Sketchy's Contract and Lethal Company, but this time for fishing. So you'll grab up
Ooh.
to 6 of your friends and jump into your boat and go fishing. Then return with your haul and sell it before the darkness consumes your soul. Now, the game already has a roadmap available where the devs will be working on things such as new biomes, new monsters, side quests, new fishing rod types, and much more. And the game is already out in early access. Have they changed their what does it say for you? Does it say for reviews? Does it still say mixed or does it say positive now?
It says mostly positive.
Okay, good. So when I first saw this game, it was in a mixed state and kind of negative due to the fact that people were kind of complaining about issues with trying to go fishing. So maybe they put out a patch on it recently to fix some of the
Oh,
bugs.
that
But
could
I
be.
do think this would be a lot of fun. And I kind of want to think it'd be like hilarious. They're going to add monsters. So some of the monsters that they're going to add is like they're thinking about Cthulhu and they're thinking about like a sea ghoul and like all this other stuff that they want to add to the game. I really want to play this game because I don't know why, but I've been really intrigued by the whole like Lethal Company, Sketchy Contract kind of feel games that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
And I think to make it about fishing, because Morgan, you like to fish. Now
I
that I know,
do.
we can go fishing with you and
Woo!
me and 4 more friends.
Well, we already know there's fishing. Come on, shirtless Dan.
That's right. So we just need 3 more friends. I'm super excited. I think this will be a good one. But for my next one, if horror isn't your style, no problem. Maybe you want something a little bit more relaxing. So check out this game. It's called Cozy Island Idol. In this game, you'll catch all sorts of fantasy fishes to showcase them in an aquarium and then to sell them to turn a profit and customize your aquarium and island. Cozy Island Idol has a demo available if you want to check it out before you buy it. I actually just decided to just go the route and buy it because it's off. And it's actually
Yeah,
just very
it's
relaxing.
only $1.49 right now.
Yeah, it's like super cheap. So I was like, I'm just gonna get it. It's fine. But what's fascinating is it is actually very cozy and relaxing. You don't have to do much. Like if you're just like somebody who is very into like let's say Cookie Clicker or there's another one like called Dice Incremental. That's what this is kind of like. You can go out into the ocean and get stuff, but I don't really understand how to do that right now. So I just kind of have my person sit on the island and fish. Which is pretty funny. And you can
That is funny.
upgrade, like you can upgrade your rod, your fishing rod, you can upgrade your aquarium, you can add new stuff, you can and then as you get fish, certain fish cost so like will provide you profit per second. So you kind of have to figure out what's the right ones and then sell the other ones that you don't want.
Very
So and then you
neat.
pick up junk too. So you can sell junk too. Okay, so if that's not your cup of tea, maybe you want to try out a game where you play as a penguin. So, in this online multiplayer game, you customize adorable penguins and enjoy relaxing activities with friends. Slide, fish, throw snowballs, and socialize in a charming snowy world. There is a demo out for a game about a penguins, about penguins. And at this time, now release date is still planned. So if you want to try this one, definitely check it out. I think this one's adorable. You get to be a penguin,
This one is really
and
cute.
they're so they're so chubby. I'm definitely interested in the Dreadline net quota one. This looks cute, not gonna lie. And I think all the ones we chose are pretty adorable overall.
Yeah.
I just see you over there like moving stuff. Is Owen okay?
Owen is deciding to lay in front of me, which means he was trying to lay on my keyboard. So I was trying to move the keyboard so he could lay because he made the page go up, and all of a sudden where we were shot up on everybody. So I'm just trying to make sure that
Oh, okay.
Owen's not hitting keys that he's not supposed to hit.
Sorry, I saw the last part of the trailer and the penguin looks at the other penguin and smacks him and he goes rolling away. And then he starts jumping like he's laughing. He's like, I
I
was
love
like, oh
that.
God, that's Rob. That's Rob. So yeah,
Well,
so there are other fishing games out there too. We just provided you guys with 6 of them. So definitely check it out if you haven't, and if you are big into fishing, or maybe you're not, and you're just like, I really want to try a fishing game. Maybe you want to check out one of the ones that we have that we suggested. So yeah,
yeah,
that's where we
let us
stand.
also chat. Are you guys, do you like fishing games, or do you like the mechanic of fishing in games? I'm very curious. Cuz did we have that conversation with, was it with Rob and Dan the other, was that literally on our Friday stream?
If they
I
liked fishing,
Yeah, if they liked fishing in games and stuff. I feel like I just had this
we
conversation
have
with
had that
someone.
conversation. I just don't remember when.
It was pretty recent too, but ramp fishing is meant to me. Okay, okay.
I don't think you've lived yet, Ram, until you fish. No, just kidding.
You need to go fishing, son.
I think it depends on the type of game, personally. I think it's got to be intriguing to me. For instance, like I think Dreadline net quota would be something that would be intriguing to me because it is with multiple people and there is a scary factor to it as opposed to just sitting in a boat and being like, I'm out here,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
So I think that adds to it and makes it very intriguing. I think others are very much the same mechanics. Like I can go fishing in Palea, and Palea fishing could feel the same as going fishing in one of these other games. So I think it
That's
just,
fair. That's fair.
depends on where you're at. Um, Becky says that it's okay. I don't mind fishing in games, just not the sole purpose of the game, and that's fair.
Fair. Very fair.
Ram says I've been fishing in real life too. Just not my thing. I have gone fishing in real life myself.
Me too.
Uh
I have poles in my garage. Can go fishing today if I wanted to.
yeah. So I get you, Ram. I mean, I think it depends on who you're with too.
For
Like
sure. I
it's
think if you
all a whole.
people you're chilling with and you're just fishing, then I don't think it really matters. Like I because the main one I have played is Fishing Planet, which is more hyper realistic. That one, like after a while, it's not a game I can play like for hours and hours on end. It's just something if I wanted something that's really chill, really casual, but still like I guess takes that fishing itch, I guess. I don't know. Like just yep, got my fishing in. Cool. Like I don't know. I really like it, and I think it's I played it before there was all the DLCs, so they've added a lot more to the game since I last played it. But I get it. Fishing ain't
Yeah,
for everyone. I like how Paleo
no,
does their fishing because you can sometimes pull up like the treasure chests and like get like other
yeah.
items and stuff. Like that's always really fun. So yeah.
We'll
But
have other fests coming down the line that I'm sure Morgan and I will be like, meh.
yeah, that happens.
But we're gonna bring them to you guys anyway because that's what we do. That is our main goal here is to provide you with the content so you know what's happening and when it's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go on one last break before we dive into our 18 upcoming games for you. So we have 18 games releasing next week, and we're gonna We're going to tell you all of them and let you know what they all are. But for now, we're going to go on another short break. That way I can use the restroom. And when we get back, we're going to dive right on into it. So we'll be back very shortly. All right, everybody, a new week is right around the corner, and that means a bunch of new video game releases. As I said earlier before break, we have 18 for you today. 18 video games. So, wow, I know, Owen, you couldn't believe it either.
And
He's
guess
angry.
what? You're kicking it off, not me.
Yay! So, as I move apparently my keyboard down here now. So everybody, let's kick off. Oh my gosh. Let's kick off the list with actually Monday, June 23rd. So, you're going to take on the role of Mako on her quest to seek out and subsequently deliver her deliverables in this top-down view 2D action game. So jump on top of your enemies and slime them with goo to stop them in their tracks. So get those deliverables delivered. Outrider Mako releases on Monday on PC.
You can tell I wrote this stuff really fast.
Yes.
Sorry, Morgan.
It's okay. It's okay. I figured out it was slime.
All right, now to Tuesday. This is Shuffle Tactics. It's a roguelike deck building tactical RPG. You will strategize to survive tough battles, pick the right cards to create powerful synergies, and bond with your sidekicks to get an edge in battle. Adventure awaits. Will you rise as Asteria's new king? Shuffle Tactics releases on Tuesday on PC, and there is a demo available on Steam. Wow, words are hard.
Words are difficult.
Well, I also saw like as I'm reading, I see Owen start walking back, and I'm like, oh god, Owen. Not right now. Give her like the rest of the show, and then she'll go and
I'm
snuggle you all
almost
you
done. I'm almost done.
want.
All right. Also sticking with Tuesday, June 24th, we have none other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter Fate. So this is a roguelike quest to rescue Splinter from the Foot Clan. Master ninja skills unite in bodacious co-op gameplay and conquer iconic NYC locals. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate releases on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One on Tuesday. Now, just so you know, if you aren't aware, this game is already available on PC.
I wish you guys could see this. Like literally, Owen's tail is smacking all over the place, and Morgan's got to take her mic and literally move it everywhere just so that Owen's tail doesn't smack either her or her mic.
It was
And
mainly the mic because he'll just head bonk it and not care, and then it'll make a noise for everybody.
it's really entertaining to watch as she's reading.
Hey,
Oh.
I make it happen. That's all I can say.
That's right. All right, let's go to Wednesday now. Get ready to unleash dragon morphing powers in this action-packed side-scrolling brawler. Choose from unique heroes with each their own fighting style. Play couch co-op or online with up to 3 friends. Team up to defeat evil or compete for supremacy. Fun and accessible for all skill levels. Heroes of Mount Dragon releases on Wednesday, June 25th, and there is a demo available on Steam. I don't know why, but I really kind of want to play it.
Do it.
It looks kind of fun.
Heck yeah. All right, guys.
Get dragons? Dragons.
Dragons. Woo. I like the black and green dragon and the full green dragon.
There's no blue dragon, which is very sad.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Next, we have a turn based RPG where every battle is a puzzle and every choice carries weight. So, guide Paul Kimball, a troubled author trapped between life and death, through a haunting world built from his own imagination. No grinding, just pure strategy, exploration, and high stakes combat. Second Chance releases on Wednesday on PC, and there is a demo available on Steam if you want to go test it out.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 4 of Poppy's Playtime is coming to PlayStation and Xbox and Switch. In the game, you must stay alive as you try to survive the vengeful toys waiting for you in the abandoned toy factory. Use your grab pack to hack electrical circuits or nab anything from afar. Explore the mysterious facility and don't get caught. The game releases on Wednesday and it's already out on PC. So if you wanted it on
Indeed.
the other ones, now's the time.
All right. Next up, we have for you is a game where you get to team up with your other self. Hono-chan, I'm sorry, your other self named Hano-chan, as your Perry Pummel and pulse your way out of your darkest nightmare in this one-of-a-kind Perry Haven action game. So Perry Nightmare releases on the Switch on Wednesday, June 25th.
Get ready to hunt the military industrial complex across stylish comic book micro sandboxes in this fast paced, covert revenge thriller FPS from the developers of El Paso and elsewhere. I Am Your Beast releases on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S on Wednesday.
Very nice, very nice. So now it's 11 months after the events of the first game. Sam Porter Bridges, a freelance porter, sets on an expedition across the Australian continent to connect isolated survivors and colonies to the wireless communications Chiral network in order to save humanity from extinction. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is officially available on Thursday.
Did you forget about Death Stranding too? It's all good. The game does look interesting though. When they showed the little cinematic during the state of play for Sony, the one the one character, I guess that's I guess that would be Sam Porter. I don't really know all the characters, but anyway, the character that they were showing had this terrible like heavy breathing that he was doing and it was very disturbing.
Oh no.
It was so disturbing to listen to. I was like, I don't like this. Like he's moving around and like as he's moving, it sounds like he's having like an asthma attack. He's just like
Oh no. I mean,
I'm like, oh my God, please
damn
stop.
walking
Please
sims.
stop. Please stop. Please stop. But yeah, if you guys do play Death Stranding 2, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'd love
Or
to
if you
hear your
played the first one,
thoughts.
let us know. Yeah, we love to know what you guys thought about the first one, the second one, and who knows whatever else they're gonna make down the line.
That's true, that is true.
All right, next we have on Thursday is Front Mission 2 Remake. Preserves the mature story, strategic turn-based combat, and Wanzer customization options of the original. Front Mission Front Mission 2 Remake releases on the Switch on Thursday, June 26th.
Say that 3 times fast.
Front Mission 2 Remake. Bleh. Thick as
um,
Steve. Bleh.
thick as Steve.
Thick as Steve.
All right, guys. In Ruffy and the Riverside, you wield the magic swap to copy and paste textures. Wow. That is a verbiage that I never thought I'd read for a game. With that being said, you will turn ice into lava or waterfalls into vines, explore, fight, skate on straw bales, and unleash your imagination in this quirky open world action game. Dive into an adventure that lets you literally change the world. So, Ruffy and the Riverside releases on Thursday on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And if you want to test it out on PC, there is a demo available right now on Steam.
Yeah, this game is interesting. I saw the trailer for it. So literally you are out in the world and you're like, "Oh, look, there's lava. I need it to be water." You'll take something else, swap it for the lava and make it in water. Just paste it as water. I don't really understand the mechanics, but it's an interesting one. And I do like the texture like the graphical texture, so it's a mixture graphics that we have going on. So that 2D like cartoon comic book look, and then kind of think like Garfield in a
Okay.
way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 I can see that.
And then but the actual like background itself is a different style texture to it. So
I got you.
very different. Yeah. Next we have System Shock 2, the 25th anniversary remaster, is a genre-defining experience that established innovative gameplay mechanics that are staple to the first-person shooter and role-playing game genre today. Survive the wretched corridors of the Von Braun. Your training has prepared you for this. System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster releases on PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on Thursday.
Very nice.
Yes.
All right, next up for you all is a dark fantasy city builder where you must rebuild civilization in the face of apocalyptic rains. As the Queen's viceroy, lead humans, beavers, lizards, foxes, and harpies to reclaim the wilderness and secure a future for civilization's last survivors. So, Against the Storm releases Thursday on the Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S.
And this game is already out on PC. I
Yes,
actually
this
own this
game is
game.
already out on PC.
Yeah, this game is not easy. It's not easy at all. So if you like that
It
whole
looked pretty difficult when I
yeah,
was looking it up.
yeah, if you like a rebuild civilization type thing, but you have to choose different types of like what your like civilization will be, it's definitely not easy.
That's crazy.
All right, next on Thursday in Calamity Angel Special Delivery, you'll lead a group of carriers that manage delivery service in the fantastical Orcotris region. You must make deliveries by assembling a crew with appropriate gears and tools. Calamity Angel Special Delivery releases on Thursday on Switch, PlayStation 4, and 5. You didn't like how I read that? I thought that was great.
Perfect.
I read it with confidence.
Fantastic. All right. A fateful meeting sets off a chain reaction, upending Mark's life. People disappear and memories prove unreliable. Uncover a hidden truth with Mark and his friend in this narrative adventure and race to unravel the mystery before it's too late. Until then, releases on the Switch on Thursday. This game is also already available on PC.
All right. Now let's move to Friday. The Underground Revolution. Join Niche and Los Discordantes in the race to overthrow La Cupula in this rhythm action puzzle and 2.5D platformer game. Music will be your ally. Antro releases on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S and PC on Friday, and there is a demo available on Steam.
Oh, interesting that the game music will be an ally to you in the gameplay. Very
Right.
intriguing.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
Weird. No, it's like I'm reading all like Spanish type things. Los
yeah, it was
discordantes.
all Spanish stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
going on to the next one, you will embark on an epic adventure to Mars in Horizon Journey, an open world survival game that blends colonization, terraforming, and exploration in both single player and multiplayer co op modes. You're tasked with the monumental challenge of making Mars a new home for humanity. Horizon Journey releases on Friday on PC, and there is currently a demo available on Steam.
I will say though, caveat to this one because Grim actually was talking to us about this game.
Yes.
The There is no multiplayer co-op for the demo. So if you
So it's
want to
only
play with
single
other
player?
friends, it's only single player. And he said that it is a little wonky. They're trying to do basically like a planet crafter, but they're not doing the best job for it. So maybe they'll make some changes before they release it, which would be really good because I have seen that happen before where they like either make changes or as soon as it launches, they put out a patch to like fix like little things that are wrong. So
Yeah, yeah. Well,
but
you
if
have
you
the
do play the
last. Ooh,
demo,
sorry.
I was gonna say, if you do play the demo, definitely give them feedback so they know how to make their game better
Oh yeah,
because that's what they look for.
that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah.
But you have the last game release for us.
Do. Normally it's you, but today it's me. All right. Tamagotchi Plaza is a shop simulator where players manage various shops serving a diverse cast of Tamagotchi characters and contributing to the town preparing for a festival. Tamagotchi Plaza releases on the Switch on Friday. So,
Fun.
how funny is that? It's like our childhood.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
character forms. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So a lot of interesting games coming out next week. So if any of them do look interesting, be sure to check them out, wishlist them if they're interesting. Maybe save it for later to look back on. If they have a demo, check it out. And also make sure you provide feedback because that's only how the devs are going to get better at their game because they need our feedback.
Yeah. 100%. But with that all being said, everybody, we actually will be taking the next couple weeks off. KP is going on a little vacation next weekend, and then it's the holiday weekend. So we know everybody's gonna be out having their cookouts, enjoying themselves. Maybe if you're like in the area where I am, we're gonna go hit the lake because it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be so hot. But with that being said, because of the scheduling and everything, we are taking the next 2 weeks off. But that doesn't mean that there won't be content and stuff from us for you to enjoy. So make sure you're actually keeping an eye on our YouTube and our social medias. We'll be constantly having things going live. Uh, just to give you a sneak peek, everybody, I will be doing a video of the Dawn Walker gameplay event that live stream that just happened. And Tuesday, we're getting a deeper look into the Destiny Edge of Fate expansion that's coming out here very shortly in the middle of July. So once again, there'll be a bunch of content and more than just those two that I mentioned out on our YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, hit up those social medias because they're important. You'll know when something goes live. Also, another thing to be said, Steam. The Steam summer sale is right around the corner. We're all about deals because we love saving money, and that's what we're going to find for you. So yeah, we will be posting deep cuts, genre-based deals, and much more across social media. So make sure you're following us across all of our social media accounts. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. We will post over on all of them, so make sure you're following us. That way you can, maybe find that next game you want to buy on a nice discounted sale from that Steam
That's right.
summer sale.
Yeah. That's going to be, so you guys know the Steam summer sale is going to be kicking off June 26th. So it'll be here before we know it.
Whoop, whoop.
And it goes all the way until July 10th. So
Heck
well
yeah.
past our lovely 2 weeks of no content, but that's okay. Or no shows, I should say.
No
We will
shows. We'll have content.
yes. So, with that being said, if you guys aren't following us over on YouTube, please do. All the love and that you guys have been giving us has been helping us grow, and we want to grow more. So, head on over there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you know when we
Ding dong it.
post things. Oh, I'm sorry. Ding
It's okay.
dong that bell, so that you
You
know.
didn't toss it to
I'll
me for
even-
once, guys. What the heck?
I'm gonna do it in Morgan's voice. Ding dong that bell. That's not her voice, but it's close
I was
enough.
like,
Anyway,
I don't think I have that accent.
no. But do that so that you guys know when we post stuff and it goes live. Because how else will you know besides following our social medias? But you won't know any other way if you don't follow our social media and you don't ding dong that freaking bell. So figure it out, people. It's not hard.
Also, can I just also say you should join our Discord because you do get notifications when a video goes live if you're in our
You
Discord.
do. You do. Yeah, why aren't you guys in there? What the heck?
Come join us. Chat it with us about video games and tech news and stuff.
That's right. All right. And also be sure to show us some love on Twitch as well. Hit that little heart so that we can continue to grow over on Twitch as well because every little bit helps. Tell your
Heck
friends.
yeah.
Tell your friends' friends. Tell your friends' 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 friends. Tell your friend's dog. I don't care.
Share us with your family.
That's right. And if you haven't thought about the summer yet, because it is getting warm, Morgan and I are going to be having some lovely summer gear being posted on our on our merch store. So you want to check that out as well. We will be having a 4th of July sale coming up, so you can get all your gear and merch for a lovely percentage off. We have not decided on what the price will be yet. So check out our store, see what we have. If we don't have something that you want, let us know. We can go see if they have it in the catalog.
Yeah.
There are a lot of items in the catalog. I know the one thing that people have been looking for is,
Like the big
especially
and
people who
tall.
are very tall. Yeah, big and tall.
Yeah.
They don't have big and tall, but we have found, or at least I have found, there is one model in there and he is like 6'2" and he wears a large and it looks like it fits him perfectly fine. So we can make those for you guys. They will not be labeled big and tall, but it'll be as close as possible. And then if there's anything else that you guys think that you want, let us know and we'll be happy to put it in the store. We want we want to make stuff that you guys want to buy, not just stuff that we think you're going to buy because we're not in your head. We don't know what you guys like. Be very weird, right?
Be a little weird, yeah, for sure.
That's too many people to think about.
Too many. All right.
All right. Well, we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Um, so make sure you're checking back on everything that we're doing because even though we won't be live, we're still going to be busy. So until then, you guys have a great one, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, like we said. And have a safe 4th of July, and we'll see you guys next time. Keep processing.
Bye.